smile.
Is that your cup? No, it doesn't need to have you on there.
It's a heavy one.
I like it better when I'm not.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Can you delete that out of there?
Well, you're live,
Oh, I'm live. Okay.
so no.
All right.
And alive.
Alive, I am. Okay. So this is Peachie from Shannon Stain Glassery for you on the World Wide Web. Our title to this demonstration is Back to Basics. Learn a few tips, see a few new products in use, and get a bit more in-depth with some of our favorite tools. So I'm just going to put together a Suncatcher from start to finish. So some of it might be a little boring, and then some of it might not. And I will start with, I made a pattern of a sun for the sun today and the mushroom tomorrow. And I have 3 pieces of glass that I'm going to use for the sun. Some iridescent, and I have some mouth blown here for the center, which is going to be kind of fun. And the first thing I always do when I'm going to do a pattern is, of course, I cut it out. I've made a copy of this on cardstock, and I'm just going to go around with the regular scissors, and I'm going to pretty much cut off my outside line. And this is just a regular scissors. For those of you that have taken maybe, a beginning stained glass class, we make something a little bigger. But a lot of times, the reason I chose a Suncatcher today is a lot of times people want to know how to finish the edges. So here I have this cut out, and then I'm going to take my pattern shears, and for anybody that doesn't use a pattern shears, it's double bladed on one side, and it takes out, I don't know, don't quote me, but let's just say about 30/2 of an inch.
Enough to cut out the black.
Good point.
The black lines.
Yeah. You were educated just the way I was.
Straightforward.
Yeah, that's right. So now I'm just going to make little tiny cuts towards the back of the scissors, and the reason I do that is I have a wider area in the back. It's really not designed to cut towards the tips because your paper will get all fumbled up. So I'm going to go around my circle on the black line.
You want to go do lunch? Or no, you have too many muffins. No, you don't.
Aren't you going to watch me?
Yes, I am, but only 11.
Going to go to the cafe?
I would go there just to talk to him.
Okay, and see, there's that nice little crinkled up paper. When I was taught, a lot of years ago, before they made scissors, my teacher didn't teach with the pattern shears. He just said to trace your pattern, make a Sharpie mark, and then cut that line out. But a Sharpie mark, I don't have one here. That can be different depending on how new or old your Sharpie is. And let's just say I did that for a while, even when I started teaching, but it really didn't work out that well because if...
New and old Sharpie.
Oh, good. Look at her. She's just always there when I need her. So there's a new one. And there's an old one. So there's a difference. And then, how do I know how much you're going to take out? I know about how much to take out, but, this one I started to cut with the regular scissors, so I'm just going to cut that line out.
Damn.
Okay, oops, a few more here. This is the most accurate way to do it because it takes out about the amount that the copper foil takes up when we put the copper foil on. I do it for I use this method for everything that I do. I really do.
You're good for something, Dennis.
Who said I'm not?
They're glued.
Lost my grip as I've gotten a little older.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to take school glue stick. Oh, from time to time today, I'm going to talk about things that I've recently read on the internet. Maybe some of you are on some of those stained glass sites or on Facebook. One of the things that somebody talked about is that they really like the purple glue stick. I'm here to tell you, I did a bunch of 200-piece window one time with purple glue stick. Put them on, turned my pieces over, turned them back over, and nothing stuck. So I disagree with that. Purple glue stick. I really like these school glue Elmers. I usually will buy more of a name brand glue stick myself. So that's my 2 cents worth on that one. How about anybody else? What do you use?
I've used the purple glue stick and I haven't had any problems.
Maybe I just had some bad stuff, but
I used it too. I had a whole
Maybe
box
after-
of it, and it stuck, especially with the thicker cardstock paper. It worked.
it did work. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'll try it again.
I either use that or I use the extra strength glue stick.
I have some of that at home that I can't get the cover off because of my hand. I have to bring it over to my
But then
son.
you get a ton of glue left
It
on your
could
glass.
be too peachy if it sat any length of time.
That could be.
That's what I have trouble with.
Sure. That is true. You don't want to buy 500 of them because
I did.
I do that too.
Shop goer.
If I find, like my lipstick. I was thinking about asking ChatGPT what would be a good match, actually. Okay. That's what Kevin says. Every time I ask him to help me with something, he says, why don't you read it on ChatGPT first? No, I'd just rather have you come over and help me with it, to be honest. Okay, so I glued all my pieces, and then usually we'll just flip them on over because it helps the glue stick. So I'm going to start with this piece to cut it out, and you'll notice this is a little bit thicker glass. This might be a little harder to cut. Oopsie. Over here. This is a lot. Remember. Oh, my shoes under. Okay. So first, when I'm doing something like this, I'm going to maybe cut this extra off. Now this beautiful mouth blown that we have, this is a new piece that we got. It's over on the end rack. And it is spendy, but you'll see if you look around here, there's panels that I've used it in. One right up here, a lead window right up there.
Yep, I see it, yeah.
And you don't need a lot, but it sure adds some pizzazz to your piece. So when I cut a circle, I just go around a little at a time. I know what I forgot. Anybody else know what I forgot? No. So that'll bring me to something. I would not use a circle cut, well, unless this was a certain size. I wouldn't try to use a circle cutter after I have a pattern. I forgot my scrap one, that's all. I'm waiting for Shannon to come back. I'm waiting for you to say something.
Oh, I'm trying to keep quiet.
You don't have to keep quiet. I want people to ask questions.
How long do you get cut doing this?
How often do I get cut?
Well, you can see I got 5 on this finger.
The other day I was grinding quickly because, I was in a hurry, and I got these 3 fingers. You're just fine. So sometimes, Martha, thank you, Martha. sometimes it's bad. I personally cut myself more when I'm in the glass racks, though, when I'm working.
Oh.
And this was just a piece that was kind of sharp that I that I was cutting or grinding, and I got the edges. And again, first I'm going to get rid of, yeah, look at that. That's going to be the top of the mushroom tomorrow.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I was pretty excited
I like that.
when I was picking out the glass.
Is that cutter easier on your hand then?
Yes, this cutter is a lot easier on my hand. As a matter of fact, this is what I use.
You've used that thing for 20 years or better.
No, they quit making them for a while, and I put one in my safety deposit box. Just in case. I did too. No, I put it in the safe.
Yeah, but your prized possession.
And for any of those people that are new to Shannon Stained Glassery, maybe I said, my name's Peachie. I'm actually the previous owner of the store. I've been doing glass for around 40 plus years. I am lucky enough to not have to own the place anymore and still work here. And some of you may think, what? But I love it. I teach a lot of classes here, and I work some during the day helping Shannon and Nick with what needs to be done. It works very well for me.
So who taught you?
I don't remember his name. Tim, my husband, he bought me everything to do stained glass one year for Christmas. Little did he know what he was in for. He bought it at a place in West Duluth. The fella's wife, she had a kind of like a consignment gift shop, and he taught classes on the side. As the crow flies, of course, that was the closest place to our house. That's why Tim picked it. But he bought me a class, and I took the class, and then it was a little devastating for me, but the man moved to the cities. So, I found other places to buy my glass, and before you knew it, the rest was just, I loved it from the beginning. I loved it.
Was his name Phil?
No, not at Cogwheel. I bought a lot of glass at Cogwheel. Yeah, I knew Phil pretty well. And one of the reasons that we use like a cardstock or something like that, we sell the heavier paper here, is because I can get my cutting head very close. I can run my tip right next to the pattern piece. I don't just use a thin paper or a Xerox paper, copy paper. Some of the young ones don't even know what Xerox means. I found that out at one class. Just that. That way I don't have to grind as much, and if I would use like the thinner paper when I'm grinding, the paper would disintegrate. Does anybody have that problem? Yeah. So I do believe in anything we do. My next project is going to be a side light. I still use the stencil paper. I trace it. I always trace 2 copies. The reason I trace 2 copies is so I can save my original. And we just had a problem in a class. It's one of my intermediate classes too, so they knew better. If you break a piece and you have everything pinned down, you either have to take everything off to get a copy of that, or if you have an original, then you can use that to make another pattern piece for your broken piece. So that's why, and also, you know how it is after you solder, you kind of wreck your pattern. So it makes more sense to save a copy in case you want to make it again. Because how often has somebody made something and then their friend said, oh, could you make me that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to you making piece number 1. That looks really like on that mushroom there.
Oh, well, you'll have to tune in tomorrow.
Oh, because that looks like it'd be really hard to do without breaking off one of those thin fragments.
It might be, but Which will bring me to, I just talked to a beginning class last night. You know, it won't be too bad for me, not trying to show off or anything, but because I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
I you know, cut glass several times a week.
Practice.
Practice. The best way you can get good at this is to do it. I like to tell the story. I gotta tie my shoe. It's really bothering me. And I'm not even going anywhere. Okay. There. I'm back. Could have said a joke or something while I was going. A lady walked in one day, this is 20 years ago, and she said, Peachie, I want you to teach me to cut like you cut. I said, okay. Well, I can show you how I cut, and I'm actually not cutting quite as fast as I usually do because this is a demonstration. I can show you all day, but if this was a lady that came in October, bought some glass and made Christmas presents for her family every year, but she didn't work on it then after that. Well, you're not really going to get better if you just do things once a year. Do you guys agree with me? Yeah.
Especially soldering.
Yeah.
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 Soldering will do it, right, Martha?
I sucked at soldering when I first started.
For you. Are you cutting on
The rough side.
Iridescent side.
Cutting on. Yeah. I always cut on the iridescent side. Well, you know, I'm always cutting on my front. If I want to get a texture, then I turn it over. You know, reverse my pattern piece.
What's that cane made out of? Because I always heard it was lead, but I was talking to my dad, and he did some projects on his own. He says it's copper.
Okay, so I'm not using cane for this project. I am using a copper foil tape. There's two different methods of doing stained glass. One is the Tiffany method, the copper foil. That's what I'm going to do today. Then we also have lead cane windows that are hanging up kind of over the glass racks. That is completely, that's lead. Okay?
Yeah. So you do use copper. Is it the same shape as cane where it's got a groove in the middle?
No, it's not. But I'll be doing that in a little bit. This is a little denser glass, so I can tell when I cut it and score it, try to break it, that it's, you know, a little bit harder to cut. And of course, I don't like to grind, so I usually try to get as close as I can.
Those are people's steps. That's students or stuff. They've already grabbed their so a lot of when you see it. Yeah. So that your clear ears are down here. So she was that one.
I almost couldn't remember where I cut, where I scored. No questions? Come on, you guys.
How much does that cutter cost?
We don't know.
You don't know.
They're around the corner. Unfortunately, I don't work here much for retail, so I don't know the prices off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was just wondering about equipment. I suppose
These are oil-fed cutters with carbide tips, and they're spendy. You know, I know they're under 50, but they last a long time. Yeah,
Care of them.
yeah.
Is the use of tools free for people signing up for a class?
Yes, if you're in a beginning class, yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's if it clears
Shannon,
on top of the grate.
could you get me water to soak?
Yes.
So, I don't know if I can bring my grinder over to you here. I'm going to grind next.
So should you always use oil in your cutters?
Yes. And I, a lot of times even will, did you say in the cutter? Yeah, I'll dip it. Even my oil fed. Because these are a little older, you know, and it just helps a little bit. Do you want me to try to get the grinder over here too? Or do you want to pause that for a minute? I suppose we can get the grinder. I'll just change around some things. Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
cutting your pieces out,
Yes.
you cut 2 sides and then broke it and then cut 2 more. Is there a reason why you don't go all the way around and then break?
Well, I think you have to have some experience before you do that.
Oh.
You know, and I did it just to make it go a little quicker. That's all. I think that was a good question. You're paying attention, Dennis. Will that work for? What happened to the? Did it get turned? Oh,
Yeah, it got bumped.
I can move all this over just a little bit more. Yeah. Thanks. No, it's just fine. Okay, so I'm going to start grinding. We're going to use one of my most favorite things. What?
It's not on Peachie.
Isn't it going
I
down?
don't want it.
It's fine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is called the Grinder by, I don't know what, Technoglass or something like that. I really, really like this grinder. Watch this. It's got a light. It's not as loud. And it's got a pretty good motor on it. So I probably won't talk much while I'm grinding, but it comes with 1 inch and then an 1/8 inch for little inside curves. It is spendy, but what I've been telling people in classes, if you can afford the extra, I would definitely buy this, especially if you're the light. And I mean, that's not the only thing, but the light really helps. And I like that it's not as loud.
Well, and what I have heard is no one has ever said they regret that purchase. I've heard a lot of regrets not upgrading.
Yeah. And Nick's one of them.
Correct. Yeah.
tried to talk it
He's
into
one
it.
to say he wished he would have gotten that.
Yeah. So, and I have 5 or 6 grinders at home, and I still got one when they came out. So mine doesn't look this nice because I don't take as good care of it. But it still works very well, even though I don't take as good care of it. You know?
Do you need to grind the pieces to round the corners?
I'm going to grind every piece to round the corners. And I'm going to start with my son, and I'm just pushing up to the wheel. Because on a circle, I'm going to have some irregular edges. And I'm just going to stick it in the water for a little bit to get the paper pieces off.
Maybe show before and after grinding.
Oh, so this is what it looked like.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, so it's got the jagged edges.
I couldn't see that from here. I just assumed that when you make a round corner with a knife...
No, I don't cut perfectly. Some of them are pretty good, but... I'm close to perfect, you know, but not complete.
Well, who is, you
I
know?
wonder if any of my kids are watching. Maybe they will. So I do want to be careful with these because some of them are similar. I don't want to get them mixed up when the paper comes up. This is exactly how I cut myself the other day. I like this grinder also. It's just a little bit taller, so I don't have to bend over as much. At home, I even have it on a little bit taller table.
Why are you putting your pieces in water?
So I can get the pattern pieces out. Didn't I say that? Maybe I didn't.
I like it.
I would think that they would come out with like a crayon type. I would think they would come out with a writing utensil, crayon like waxy that you could still label after you dry it.
Well, we use a Sharpie.
The Sharpie, and it
Yeah.
comes off okay.
Yeah, the only thing I wouldn't put it on the iridescent. What I do is if I have to mark, which I do a lot of the times, well, I'll do it, but I don't do it on the iridescent. I would turn it over and do it on the other side. I thought you were shadowing over there. And I heard her over there. Okay. Okay. So normally if I was doing a window, of course, I would probably be placing them on the pattern as well as I was going. But if I grind everything to the pattern piece, it should fit, right? Right-o? Okay. Move this back over here.
We'll see you later.
I'm gonna sit down. It can't move too far. It can't move too far. It's plugged in. But thank you. The only one that I might have to do a little bit to is this circle.
Better than that other stuff.
Oh, we're going to talk about that foil a lot. Yes. It's not raining anymore, huh? So what I kind of did here.
Would it be a good idea after you're laying down to pin them?
If I was doing a window,
Okay.
everything would be pinned.
Or if you had kids running around the house.
Yeah, I will say that if I'm doing a sun catcher, if I'm doing a sun catcher and I'm accurate, I would probably skip that process. But if you're from the This Is Good Enough club and it's really not good enough, I like that. Yeah, if you're from that club, you maybe would want to pin. You know, a lot of times with me, like if I'm working at home, I like to foil in the house at my table because I don't eat at the table but twice a year, so it's always filled with something. The joys of living alone. Tim didn't care when he was alive either. But I usually have something on my table that I'm working on.
Yeah, I love record presents, but some of this is not very.
Doug has a little spot in the corner of the table, because I've got 2 beer boxes with one with a piece I cut out that I have to do, and then another one, and then a card table over by the window.
He's lucky you let him live there.
That's what I told him.
Got long arms apparently.
Thanks for the reach. Okay, so you got 4 of those, let's see. Those things got numbers.
Okay, now isn't that cute? You can come over and look at it if you want to, while I set a few things up. Now, if what?
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
I think I'm going to keep this.
Ooh, some blood too.
Yeah, I see. They had like little tiny little.
They're not samples.
Yeah, and I got rid of those with the grinder. And if I was going to pin this ahead of time, if I was gonna pin this ahead of time. Oh,
There, that's
I just
better.
heard me. I would put a pin on each side, so that it you know, I just wouldn't put one pin or whatever. Okay, so my next step is going to be to wipe off all the pieces with rubbing alcohol. I find that using rubbing alcohol certainly cleans them off well enough to accept the foil.
Where's Shannon?
I can hardly wait to see how you get that
back
king in
there.
there.
Me too.
Pretty neat so far.
This will be foiled.
Yeah, I never seen that.
What's your name?
John,
Oh, you're John.
talked to you on the phone
Okay,
yesterday.
yep, I'm Peachie. Yep, interesting. I wondered.
Yeah, I'm signing up.
Don't lose my stuff.
If you turned in a,
If you turned in an entry, you get
if
these
you got a
patterns.
free pattern. If you did not turn in an entry, then that I'm.
You can buy it, turn in anything?
Yeah. This is what I don't usually do this, but I wanted to do something special for those that turned in an entry to the art show. So this was one of your special gifts was you got the pattern that you just demonstrated.
If you buy some mouth blown to put in them, I'll give you a pattern.
Dennis, I'm sorry you can't have that one.
I don't want it.
It's giving you a hard time.
I'll give it.
Huh?
I'll get a copy. Yeah.
Are the stained glass projects we're going to make in your class use that thick lead, or is it that copper foil?
This is we're going to do copper foil. I do have a lead cane class, but we don't teach that first.
I see.
Okay, yeah, we have to have
Okay.
square footage and, okay, so, yeah. Yeah, okay.
So, over the years, you know, there's been different manufacturers of foil. There used to be a good one called Venture, and they went out of business. It was a sad day for me because they made what I thought was the best foil. And since then, we've had a few other brands of foil. And lo and behold, Shannon started carrying this Mongo's stained glass premium select copper foil, which is also the thickness is 1 1/4 mil. So it's a little thicker, and I like something that's substantial wrapped around my glass. So, it's 1 1/2 mil. This is 1 1/4 mil. That's what I actually thought when I read that. I really like it. I probably won't use anything else. It sticks well. It's like I say, substantial because you know that copper foil is what your solder goes on. So, anyways, I'm going to use it today. I've wiped all my pieces off, and I'm using a black-backed 7/32 to wrap on my glass. Okay.
A little backstory on the Mongos. A guy called me directly and he said after Venture Tape went out of business, he took some old Venture Tape to a manufacturer and asked them to replicate it. And it took a couple tests until he was perfectly happy with it. So he was very, very, very picky and wanted that quality of foil back in the market.
What do you need?
So does the silverback stick better than the other foil? 'Cause I
Well,
have
yes, it does,
issue.
but we have Shannon, I think from this fella guy, heard from him, if you are doing silverbacked, put it like it, warm it up. So all those depot windows, we did silverback foil. She told me put it in between a heating pad, or on a heating pad, and I did that.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it stuck really well.
Yeah, because I heat it up with
And then if I got cold, I could put my hands on that too. Yeah, it works really well. Glad you brought that up, Deb.
Let's see.
So I'm gonna just do maybe one by hand, and then I'm gonna show the table foiler because quite honestly, I just love the table foiler. The other morning I had to quickly foil 150 pieces for my garden totem class, and I did them in like 45 minutes or an hour. It was really quick. So now when I do a Suncatcher, I want to make sure that I start my seam somewhere that is going to be on both sides covered with solder, so inside. So on here, I'm going to start right on this piece. Basically, where two pieces meet. I'm centering my foil, or my glass on the foil. It's loud in here today, isn't it?
And that black stuff is like sticky, right?
It is. It's an adhesive tape. It sure is. I'm going to overlap it anywhere from an eighth to a quarter of an inch. I do use my fingers to kind of then make sure it's nice and tight. And then you can take this smooth roller and start to push it down. Yeah. I also kind of use my fingers. It's pretty worn out right now. And then I take the roller and I roll both sides. So then I'm going to put this piece back, and just like Nancy talked about pins, I'm going to put the pins one on each side. Okay, so that's how I would do it if I hand foil, which is perfectly acceptable to do. I like using the table foiler though. I've been using this for years. It's the best way that I have found to get the foil even. Every once in a while, another company will come out with something. I know Technoglass, that made this wonderful grinder. They came out with a foiler, and I think it might be a good idea. I just haven't had the time.
That one that attaches to the table.
I think it can attach to the table. So I'm not sure if she has them in stock yet, because we don't like to sell something until we really can recommend it. And I know I just need to take one and use it because I haven't. And I will say that probably, because of what I've done, use my hand so much through the years, I'm losing my grip and some things like that. So some of those tools are, like I'm going to start using the cutters made a little bit more, just for that reason. So yeah, we just haven't tried it yet. So for using the table foiler, I'm just going to, again, start my piece.
Peachie, when in class, can we make our own design?
Nope.
Oh, it's all
Yep.
planned
Not
out.
the first class. Sorry about that, John.
That's all right. I'll make them at home after I learn how to do this.
Because we only have, so now that's all burnished, so really all I have to do is roll this out. Okay.
Okay. There you go.
I guess I'll have to find out what design we're going to make in class.
So if you look up there from the sun over to the end, those are your choices.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to put this piece down.
I want to use real bright colors that the sun just kind of makes it glow and shoots light rays off in all directions.
See you tomorrow, Pete.
Okay. Have a good lunch.
No, I'm not going to lunch.
Okay.
Gonna go work on my wind chime. Gotta go buy some beads. I need it. I'll show you what I do.
So when I kept moving it the wrong way.
Peachie, it looks like those samples up there, those examples use cane. Is that correct? Lead? Oh, that's all. What you're doing here?
That's all copper foil.
The way that copper looked, I just thought it was so thin that you could barely see the separation between the
Oh,
wires.
you know what? Yep, so those are people who, so if you want to start a pile, just find a spot and put it in. Okay, yeah, okay. You know what, let me talk to
This is like one very thin piece of glass.
you special for that because there's no sad or. Okay.
Keep grinding, Martha, keep practicing that solder.
They had a few here for.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Also go around it if you want
I'm kind of
to.
like just looking at it, it's like, oh, I think you're there, or whoever is next, I was standing here, so, and, do you have, something we are gonna carry it in, like in your car, or do you need it wrapped up, or do you have like a big box in the car type thing?
No,
Christina, thank you.
I can hardly wait to see the result. I bet you use a blowtorch or something and melt
I
that.
don't use a blowtorch.
No? Oh,
Yep, you'll,
because I got one at home.
I use a soldering iron.
Oh,
Okay.
there it is.
oh, let me weigh that baby. This man must weigh a huge one.
That soldering iron gets it to melt, I guess.
Yeah, it works pretty good.
Bring it over where I'm gonna write it down for you.
Yeah. I guess we're kind of glad she don't come here
Did you
anymore.
notice what I did wrong?
No.
Started your foil
I
on the
started it on
outside.
the end. See, even I
Oh, you
make
did?
mistakes. Well, you always find my mistakes. So.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh,
Yeah, I was going to call you on that, Peachie, but
were you?
I don't know anything about it. Other than I love to look at it when it's in the window and the light comes through. Makes it light up.
I could have made it work, but I wanted to see if anybody was paying attention. No, I just screwed up. Just screwed up.
You're human.
Yep,
I
this
am.
one and then you're next.
Okay.
Which little piece?
And you have to get every piece done and in place.
You know what? That's another, lately on that internet, there's been, there was, and I didn't see this myself. Somebody brought it to my attention that somebody online said that you don't have to foil small pieces, that they'll just stay in. Well,
Doesn't sound like it's.
I think at this point I might call myself a professional, and this professional says you should, and I do, foil every piece.
Yeah.
Because they could eventually fall out. I mean, I just did a window, you know, Shannon and I just did those windows with very tiny pieces, but we still foiled everything. And let me tell you, it was no picnic, but that's what you have to do. You could probably build solder, but it's not the right way to do it, you know.
No, because the solder isn't going to stick to the glass.
And you know, things that I use and believe in, and it's not just because I was a previous owner of a shop or any of that. Everything I'm doing, the way I'm doing it today, is the way I do it. I use the chemicals that I'm going to be using. I trace my patterns. I pin them in place because, you know, sometimes people on something like this, they might want to skip that. But the thing of it is, if you skip pinning it in place, you know, you could, you know, flux and move it back, but it's going to move when you go to tack it.
Right.
And why not just take the time to do it the right way? Now, I'm going to use, this is exciting too. They make the scallop foil. For a long time, we couldn't get it. Now, the only thing I have a lady that bought some, and I think she paid like $100 for a roll or something. So that was pretty spendy. It only comes, I think it only comes in copper bath. Now, I'm going to see how this works because this is a thick piece of glass, and of course I can't put the scallop back in the table foiler.
What's the advantage of scallop glass? Scallop.
I'm going to show you in just a minute, John.
All right. looks a little thicker. I mean,
It
wider.
is.
It's wider.
It's, yeah, and it's decorative. Okay. So I'm gonna just kind of hand burnish this. Try using my left hand because I have so many cuts on my right hand. And then you know when you have to take a baby aspirin every day, I bleed like crazy.
Really? That doesn't bother me.
Okay, no, but I just want to make sure, I just want to make sure I didn't get my thumb off.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this down. This yellow that I used too, that's a new piece of glass, and it's just got that little hint of that orange. It's beautiful. I don't even like yellow, but I like that. I'm liking it better. I'm actually liking the orange and yellow better. I don't know why. But see, now I have kind of a pretty scalloped look. So.
Yes,
Got a couple little spots here that might foil overlap. Been working on anything, Martha?
I'm okay, yes, I'm working on a...
Did you enter anything? Now I'll finish it. I think it's going to be cute. Okay.
So far, so good. Man, that looks all
So
right.
far, so good. I guess I'm doing okay. I'm going to keep my job another day.
Yeah, it's official now that I said it. All right, so far, so no, no.
So I haven't even been doing this for an hour, and I'm all ready to solder. So sometimes if you just sit down and, you know, do a project,
Oh, you did?
it
Okay.
doesn't take all that long.
Time flies when you're doing this.
Yeah, it does. And you know, my hobby's gotten me through. I think everybody should have a hobby of some sort.
Yeah, I'm really into oil painting.
And I know myself, it's gotten me through some times because when I'm working on something, and of course I have more than one hobby. Too many that I need to spend a lot of money on. My son likes to say, "Mother, do you think that maybe you can?" He doesn't care if I buy him. Well, not much. But he'd really like me to stop buying things I'm never going to use. But you know, fabric, I love color. So I'm a sewer and I use anything. So of course, color, oh my gosh, when I started the whole fabric thing, it was like, yeah.
You know, my neighbor that came in with me today, he was wondering, he's really into guitars. He's got like 20 of them, but he was wondering if he could make a guitar out of stained glass. And he said, probably not because of the rounded area in the guitar and in the
Well,
thin
I
neck.
mean, you could make a picture of one, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You're not talking one that you could use.
No, just like maybe something the size of that mushroom, except the guitar.
Well, that would be kind of small.
Yeah, that'd be hard to do without breaking it.
Yeah, when it's, well, intricate, pretty intricate. Lots of small pieces. I would never recommend making something that had super tiny pieces.
Congratulations, you want to go
Oh, thank you.
Do I have any, you know what, you can do it. See if I have any comments.
Any comments?
That I, you know, questions. I wouldn't know about that on my own, but I do watch Facebook Lives from other people.
Well, I usually, if I'm not here, I'll watch your videos.
This is the guitar I made as a memorial.
I actually
piece
do
for my
watch them
brother-in-law.
afterwards.
Because
I
he
said
passed
I
away.
don't watch them, but I until I get tired of.
Yeah, the base is, yeah, the
Last
base
year,
and the
if you were
front
here
and the
during the
head
glass
are
show,
all
my
glass.
grandson James
And
photobombed
then-
me.
Yes, that's
Yeah, so I watched that. But well, then Shannon
both-
posted it again.
to the that. I used
He says he didn't realize, but
It looks so realistic.
no. He had a no.
so I'm just finishing up foiling my last piece.
He had a blueberry burst guitar, so I made this.
I've got a little bit of an overlap here, which does happen with the table foilers. So see, I just have an X-Acto knife.
And then
That tip.
So you've been doing this a while.
And now I'm going to
40 years?
pin this in place.
I'm trying to think
I'm
you
going to
can
move
tell.
some
Because I
of
did put
my
his name, you could just
some of my
very rightly
stuff.
see, I had used the engraving
I don't
pen,
think you
and
do.
I had put his name,
Okay.
so you could kind of see the eye there and everything like that. So,
And now I'm going to
and
plug in
then
my
I cut,
soldering ring.
these were
How big is that?
14 inches tall. So, and then these were washers with rivets.
Looks like a Fender Stratocaster.
It was a Gibson Blueberry Burst.
Oh.
And then this, to the end here, that was another ear in the back. And stuff like that. So it took me a while to figure it out, but I finally did. But he had like 30 guitars when he died. So I made this as a memorial piece for my sister then.
Okay.
Oh, so she's about ready to
I don't.
melt the copper, I think.
Did I ever cut them? Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, if you look on Facebook there's or Google it, there's a lot of people that will take the front off of guitars and then do this in stained glass. So the only thing is that once they do it, you know, especially with the piece of guitar, you can't play it. Oh yeah. She just wanted to keep guitar. Oh yeah, electric guitars were too. But like I said, well that was but like I said, I've seen a lot of you just Google things, ask guitars, and you'll come up and they'll show a lot. I've seen sunsets and all kinds of things.
While I'm waiting, I just have to go look for something when I'm waiting for the iron to heat up there.
Do you have a sponge with water to wipe yours off?
I bought a new one that goes with the tackle.
With the little char-grill thing in
It's
there?
got the little wire thing in there.
Yeah.
The wire strap. I bought that and I love it.
Oh, yeah, I've got that too, but I noticed
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, I guess
But I like the new holder because my iron doesn't fall out. I mean, I
I didn't-
that often, but
we aren't like
I kept knocking my iron out.
Okay, I'm back. So the first thing I'm going to do, and yes, if you're wondering, because this is thicker, it's going to be a little bit stand up a little bit more. I'm not going to do anything about it. You know, if I wanted it to be even, I could solder the outside and then, you know, lift it up, but I'm not going to because you really can't tell after it's done.
This, I'd like to see. This is going to be pretty cool when it all comes together.
Yeah.
That's some kind of a
Fluxed everything.
flux, yeah.
Flux is a chemical that helps the solder stick to the glass. So I really like this Taco iron. It's a FX 601. It's got a temperature control. So for a lot of things that we do, it's nice to have that. If we're doing lead, we turn it down. If we're doing decorative soldering, we turn it down. If you're Peachie, you turn it up. But that's just more from experience. The longer that I've been doing this, I solder a little little faster. Okay?
Is it gonna take 4 weeks to make one blade?
Yes.
Okay. I got the time.
Do you? Are you retired?
Yeah, I'm semi-retired, yeah.
Yeah, me too. On this side. Sucks.
You need to clean it. And I didn't.
Use the salmonia for this.
No. That little cup thing. And I didn't think you were supposed to use a sponge either.
Maybe not, but I do.
Oh, okay.
You want me to wrap up or you still look?
I'm still
Are there any concerns about lead exposure when you're doing this?
Well, we are using lead.
Like, do you have to periodically get your blood levels checked?
So, lead. This is 60% tin, 40% lead. Heck of a time there. So yes, you are using lead. One of the things that we recommend, you know, for instance, you notice how my water cup is. I don't have to screw anything up. I do wear gloves when I solder, mostly because I have so many cuts on my hands all the time. And my skin reacts to Band-Aids, so I have to wear them. So, anyways, just a big step. I do get my lead checked. I used to get checked every year when I was full-time, but now every 2 or 3 years. I looked back the other day because somebody was talking about it online, and mine is like 3.3, which is under what a normal person would have. We all have lead in our body. So, you know, I always solder in a well-ventilated area. There are smoke absorbers that people can use. So I haven't found it dangerous, but, you know, if you do it as a hobby, that's what I recommend. Just go in for your physical and have it done. I think the test adds on about $150, you know, so. Okay, so I am going to start
Oh, yeah, I see how you're doing.
by just flat soldering this together, getting everything connected.
And that heat melts that copper a little bit and makes
It
it
does.
stiff?
This iron is probably maybe at between 700 and 800 degrees. I'm not sure. This is on Celsius, and I never learned about that, so. I said that. So I'm just tacking this right now so I can get these pins out, get them out of the way. I'm gonna like this.
Yeah, it looks good already. Especially when you hold it up to the light and the sunshine.
You betcha.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm like, what is going on?
I do want to take this time to talk a little bit about, you know, we have our class flyers up front. For the upcoming classes. A couple of classes coming up that we have some room in are our nature and glass and our mosaic. I have that right over there.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Peachie, did you talk about the new masking tape trend versus your pins? Versus what?
Oh,
Pins.
so, no. So here's another thing that we can't quite understand here at Shannon's that we see online. People, I don't know if you've seen it, where they'll lay their piece out and cover it with masking tape to hold it together.
And then turn it over. I saw that too, but I couldn't figure out why.
So I don't know why. I've thought about it a little bit. I wouldn't want to put all that masking tape on my piece could bother the edges, you know, or peel that your copper foil off. Pins have always worked very well for me before they made pins. You know, I've been doing glass before they made pins and before they made glue sticks. I remember that because I used to take little pieces of masking tape and roll them underneath my pattern pieces. Well, they said rubber cement too, but rubber cement back then was very expensive. So anyways, this little masking tape thing, then they turn it over and they start to solder. And there's probably a lot of people out there that wouldn't agree with me, but I think that the flat soldering is crucial because it helps you fill in those voids. You know, before you start to picked an iron with a bad tip here. Sorry.
I wasn't going to call you on it.
No.
I'm just learning.
Thank you, John. That's why you might have to kick you out of here, you know.
Uh-oh.
I've never done
Before
that
I
before,
even
though.
sign up, man.
I'd kick Dennis out of here. So I flat soldered everything.
That's love.
Tinned, that's right. I've tinned my edges and now I'm going to turn it over.
Oh, I have it.
And I'm going to flux around my edge.
My mind.
Boy, wasn't it nice out yesterday? Oh, so if we get back to the masking tape, I don't know why they do it. You see when you look at this, I filled in my voids, any little spots that I had, right? And I think that's important. If I would start and just start my bead, if you go, when you're going, whoops, a little quicker, I probably wouldn't fill in my voids, and therefore the piece wouldn't be strong enough.
So you have to do both sides for structural integrity, right?
Well,
Just to make it stick so it wouldn't
so
fall apart.
structural and yes, structural, but also you want it to look nice. I think. I'm going to turn my iron down just a little bit. When you're doing something small like this, it heats up very quickly. So I'll usually kind of jump around a little bit, if you know what I mean. To do my edges, this is called tinning.
It can crack the glass.
It sure can. Yes.
Does that make your glass hotter too when you're...
It does, yeah, because the copper's a conductor. Yeah, it will. I'll usually put the restrip in and then flat solder to get it in and then go back.
Find the flat edge.
Well, this is flat solder, where we just basically went over it quick and filled it in. Oh yeah, you haven't soldered yet.
No.
And then we go over and we bead this side. So I'm going through and just going a little bit quicker and adding a raised bead. Okay?
But there's no difference in the way you're holding that iron.
You do notice, and a lot of people, you know, there's people that do different on this, but this is what works for me. I am right on the glass. I'm not up here trying to dribble that solder down. I'm right on the glass.
It used to hover like that.
Oh man, that's gonna be cool.
If I want to fix this area, I can just... It is a little harder sometimes to solder something small like this because I can see that I have to take a break here because it's getting hot. Sometimes I'll just pick it up a little bit so I can get some air underneath it. Well, thanks.
It does, doesn't it?
That scared me.
On some of those glass over there, do we have to use those colors? I found that I like looking at lighter colors that let more sunlight through.
Whatever, well, within reason, whatever you want. There's some glass in the racks that's too hard for a beginner to cut. Okay, so I have that about the way I want it. I'm just gonna touch this little area up here.
Just putting the finishing touches on it, Al.
I can't lift it up, I'm not strong. Sorry.
Starfish.
No, flower. Or is that a sunbird? Flower. Oh yeah, sunbird.
You can do whatever you want it to be, really.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It could be a sunflower too, really.
That's a pretty smooth amount.
Yes.
Do you have a sample of the birdhouse?
I can show you a picture, but I haven't.
Rough solder it and
So I
then
have two
smooth it
birdhouses
out.
at home. Oh, yes, I have. I have two of them at home, but they're out in my yard, so I want to clean them up a little bit because I do not have the time to make them for class. I've made those. I've made those.
That's like, that's 40% lead, 60% tin.
What was on the schedule for the
Yeah.
So it's not silver solder.
birdhouse?
I presume those would be
Electronics is a silver solder.
That'd be pretty costly, huh? If we were to use silver.
Yeah.
Although I did have one take residence in mine
I can't have that.
several years ago.
Yeah.
So you see, I'm just going around, and one of the things that I'm doing here, as I'm going around, I'm kind of fixing my two joints.
Nick can do
What
it.
you got that piece of copper foil sticking up there, right in front of you.
Oh, it's just a scrap. But thank you.
Pretty cool, huh?
I got different ideas.
Ah, this is an expert.
Make mobiles.
Mobile. Oh yeah, that look all right. If you held it in front of the window, had them in front of the window.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to pick it up, and then I'm going to finish my edges. I first go around and just cover the foil, and I'm just going one way. This is very warm.
Yeah, I see. When I first saw you put those real thin strips of copper in there, I thought, well, it's not going to make the pieces stand out like a traditional stained glass, but you do use solder on top.
I really struggle doing edges.
Me too.
If I get a nice bead on there, then it drips down on
Right.
all of that.
Well, so I'm covering them right now. And then it's very warm. So, anybody got a joke?
No, but I got a question. You can actually cut that out of there, and then without this part breaking here and this part breaking here, you can do that with just what you're using, that knife?
Yes.
Oh, that's all right. I
Yes.
didn't know you could get that detailed in.
Yes. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 10.
6.
2.
9.
It was 7.
Ah,
Hey!
You bet. She had 7. It was 7.
Oh, what's that? I thought you said nine. She said 9. Okay.
No, it was 7. See?
geez, I didn't realize door prizes were in the mixer.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so
Are you happy
No, it's not
now?
sticking to the glass.
I got you. Okay.
So now I'm going to turn the iron down a little bit, and it's cooled a little bit. I'm going to go down to 410. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix these edges. And I just pick up a little bit of solder. Make sure I got good edges.
Just to kind of dress it up a little bit, smooth it so there's no big jagged.
Yep. And then I also pick this up and see I'm just tapping
Oh, your box to put your
to
knuckles wrap?
add a little bit more solder. And what that does, when you're doing a Suncatcher, building it up helps so that that tape isn't going to come off.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you turned it down, right?
I did turn it down.
What did you say you turned it down to?
410,
That's probably the trick.
maybe.
And that's picking it up just by putting the iron on those
Well, so sometimes it's a little difficult. If you want to cheat, it's not cheating. I put a little bit of extra solder on there, and then I can pick it up and move it around. Okay? Because the other way is a little harder. So I'm going to go around and I'll just add a little bit.
How often do you use flux caps?
I usually don't.
You don't? Okay.
But flux can evaporate, so, you know, if you need to, that's fine.
How do you know if you need to?
The solder won't flow. That's a good question.
So, your purchase today, you get 1 and 3, since you were
And of course, I want to kind of leave it be for a few seconds so that it sets up. People a lot of times ask how long does it take to dry. Well, it isn't drying, I don't think, as much as, you know, it takes 30 seconds maybe for it to set up if it's thick.
Okay, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
And you know what, I wasn't sure what this was. Someone,
So I have
okay,
them all
gotcha.
done that way. So now I'm going to go around this way.
So that grinder is an essential element to make a
Pretty
stained glass.
essential. If
I
somebody
mean-
would have showed me stained glass and not a grinder, there
I
wouldn't
mean,
have
this,
been no Peachie stained glass. I'll
like
tell you
this
that.
curve here is pretty accurate, but I notice it's
Be
not
careful there,
exactly
John,
straight up
because
and
you
down.
might cut yourself. Yeah, it's very sharp. And you do need to grind the pieces before you foil. I mean, foil's going to work better if it's on a ground edge.
Yeah.
You can't use the table foil if it's not a ground edge either.
Because each side can cut the foil too, if it's not grounded.
So I felt like I had enough on there. So it's gonna... You know, it takes a little bit. A lot of people don't like to do this part because it takes time, but, you know,
I think it takes me longer to do the edges than it does.
Yeah.
that's the
But I don't
Suncatcher.
bother enough that they,
okay.
Maybe you need some kind of refresher.
I think so.
We should have a class on that maybe.
It's something.
They had this show on TV a couple weeks ago. This guy was making a 30-foot wide stained glass window for a cathedral. It was, I don't know if you saw it, but it was really intricate. It's on PBS.
I'm just kind of fixing these up here.
Are you pretty good? Or are you sticking around? Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Shannon's doing a demo on fusing too. Okay, so this is the front, and I'm just going to take these. And the reason I know it's the front, of course, is because I have my scalloped foil there.
So the solder sticks to the skeleton.
Sticks to
Things
the
that-
copper. Yep. Yeah, it's not going to stick to the glass, so you know it has to have this copper on here.
Which is kind of handy because you don't want to stick to the glass when
No.
you don't want it.
You know. So I think that's good to go.
All right.
Jump ring?
Yep. I just want to get it the way it was meant to be.
Okay, there you go. We'll see you in an hour.
So you don't want to put a ring on a tip. You want to embed it in a joint. So I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to put a ring on each side of this.
Okie dokie. As long as that wire doesn't show through the, oh, you're talking about hanging it up, putting a little chain on it?
I might not be done yet. I gotta see where it's at.
Well, at least we did before we put glass in there.
So I have a hemostat here. It's a really old, somebody that works at a doctor's office probably. But they help for putting on rings because, you know, they just clamp right in there. And I want to make sure that the ring is embedded in the solder, because if it's just over the top, you know, then the ring will fall off, and you don't want your Suncatcher to fall out of the window, right?
I'd rather not.
Personally, I don't use suction cups. I'll usually have a cup hook or something hanging from my window, and then I'll just have some string. If you are going to use a suction cup for something this size, you can, but make sure you check that suction cup. I have another one.
Oh, please, don't spend any more money.
Okay, so now, I don't think I have any. I'm going to go get a bucket of water and show how we wash and patina this, okay?
Is there a reason why you put 2 jump rings on and not just one? Wouldn't one have been enough?
One would have been enough.
Okay.
Should I put just one on? I like to do this. But yeah, I could put one on.
Okay.
Yeah, now you got me overthinking this. Dennis.
Sorry. Leave
Well,
it,
two
leave
would
it
make
alone.
it stay in the same direction, whereas
Okay, you
one
could-
would
You
launch
said
it
questions, so
Yeah, think of some more. I'll be back in a sec.
I do, but yeah, I know. And then let me wrap it up in
Huh?
paper.
How's your tree coming
I
along?
might be able to do it right. But I think I should.
I've worked on it a little bit. I think I still showed you a picture
Yeah.
the last time.
Oh, you
I
haven't
worked.
worked on it since.
I'm like, I'm glad you checked.
I know, right?
Now that the things are actually like sticky. Track it crazy.
It's gonna move.
Food is out if you're hungry and want it.
So nice.
Get this back in
Wow, that looks big. How big is that?
It's about that wide. and
See,
that high.
that's why I'm wondering, with all the little pieces, should you have put some restrip in there?
Some what? Restrip? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to have it. What kind of strip is it? And I haven't used it, but I've heard about it, and I was gonna ask you if she could show us how it's
It
used.
it strengthens.
You know what I forgot?
I
I was
saw
gonna
this.
use-
You saw this, right?
Yeah, I was gonna use that Jack's patina. Yeah. So the polish and the Jack's patina, could you get that?
Which Jack's?
Computer, I've got it by the sink back there.
Okay.
So my question was, should we be using restrip in that?
Well, so
With all the little pieces?
little pieces stabilize it.
Okay.
It's more when you have, at least in my opinion, long sweeping lines. That's when I usually will try to strengthen it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Again, putting on gloves because I have.
Doesn't that make it slippery, your glass slippery, those kinds
No,
of
these
gloves?
gloves are
These are nice that you
super nice gloves. They saved my fingers grinding the depots.
Yeah, I grow
That's
my
the only
fingers.
way I was able to launch those little pieces is with that, so nothing was slipping out of my hand. I'll show you
So
the back.
I put about a cap full of CJ's in my water.
What's CJ?
CJ's is a flux and patina cleaner. I like to use these handy nail brushes or a sponge. Show you a sponge right here
You better shop, right?
to clean off my piece. I'm going to use my nail brush. Or whatever, little brush like this. They're nail brushes. They're nail brushes.
Yeah, I use them all the time.
And then I'm going to turn it over.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
I'm getting all the extra solder off and whatnot. Dry it off. And I use Flux and Patina Cleaner. There was just a thing, and I can't quite wrap my head around this either, that some people use baking soda, like a baking soda paste. I don't know why you would do that. The CJ's works very well
Yeah,
to get
it
the
does.
flux off. And as a matter of fact, I just had a lady in class that had never used it and has been doing glass for years, and she bought a bottle because she could tell the difference. Years and years ago, before I knew much about CJ's, I was told to use Dawn dish soap, and it worked pretty good. But Dawn dish soap has gotten weaker. In a pinch, I have used power wash, but I still don't like it. As like I say, I like CJ's, and often I get asked, well, what would you use instead, or what do you use? I use what's recommended because they went through all the work to try to see what's going to work. Why would I use something else? Our polish. I get asked a lot. What would you? I use our finishing compound or our polish. That's what I use.
You better run away.
Okay. So now that I've been babbling around with that, I'm going to use a new patina that we carry. It's called Jack's Pewter Black, and I really like it. I do. Put it in the cap because you don't want to you don't want to put any patina back in the bottle. Putting it in the cap or another container.
And that's like a gloss?
Well, it changes the color of the patina.
reaction.
Yeah.
It'll turn the solder lines black.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also a copper patina.
Yeah, there's different colors. There's copper. This Jack's is something new that we've been kind of playing with, so it's a little darker than I thought it was going to, but we'll see what happens. A lot of people use a toothbrush. I am sloppy enough. I don't use a toothbrush because I'd have all that, I'd have all that stuff everywhere. So now I'm just going to pick it up and see if I got it on all my edges here. And I could have left this silver. Actually, at first I thought I'm going to, but I wanted to show you what the patina looks like. Yeah. So now I'm going to take my brush and just kind of wipe it a little bit.
Because you're neutralizing the patina.
Yeah. That's right. That's a good word.
No, that's the one.
Here. Really good at dumping over expensive chemicals. Actually, I should try to get this back on. Okay. So now I'm just going to dry it off a little bit. See, and it does kind of have that pewter color to it. Do you see? I like it. So now
I like it better than plain shiny.
I do too. So now I'm going to put the polish on, and just put a little bit of polish. And because I would use a towel, but because I have my gloves on, I can just put it on with my gloves. Weird. Okay.
Does that help light come through?
Nope. It helps it not
Oxidize.
I lost my word. Yeah, oxidize. It helps not oxidize. Helps keep it nice and clean. It actually on a lamp it will help. Is it still not sticking?
Brighter.
Yeah, and it'll be brighter. So we went through in about an hour and a half how to make this Suncatcher, from the cutting out of the pattern to cutting the glass, grinding the glass, foiling the glass, and now soldering. Sometimes I feel making a little putsy Suncatcher, it takes, and they do, they take a little bit of time, but if you really look at the whole thing, Maybe it would take some of you a little longer, but in a couple hours you could get this done. You know, they make nice gifts for people. I wish that we have a Suncatcher class periodically around here, but it has not been one of our most popular classes. So I thought that it would be a good idea to just demonstrate this today and how to finish the edges. It is important to have the edges built up because it'll say a lot. I noticed. I will when I watch myself. That's when I watch myself, then I criticize. Oh my God! And then if I make too many mistakes, I'll shut it off. Yeah, I'll never be a news reporter. So. Then I always think there's a lot of people that know me and they know my rambling on. Doesn't matter.
Don't forget that.
I was telling somebody the other night, so I like to watch YouTubes on different things, and Shannon's is saved on mine, like I subscribe, and when I'm looking through things, all of a sudden, there I am. Did you watch? Yeah. Or the other one was my niece one time. I think she was on a plane or something, and I guess, well, her and her fiance at the time, his husband now, it was my voice. So this usually stays on until it a little bit dries to a haze. I'm probably going to, I'll wait a few more minutes. Also, what I will say about something like this, you can, there's certainly pattern books here. There's not as many pattern books as there used to be. For those of you that have been doing this for a long time, I used to have 5 sections of books, and a lot of them didn't get republished. I'm really, really glad that I have them. Of course not. Yeah. I do though now. I don't ever steal a pattern online because a lot of people do. I buy a pattern from somebody on Etsy. You can get some Suncatcher patterns and things for a few dollars. Because I do believe, that's not much to pay an artist for their little drawing, So I have done that. I made a really nice dragonfly with a lotus flower, like the lotus flower is built into the dragonfly. I think I only paid $5 for the pattern. I could have probably drawn something, but yeah. So now I'm going to, with my terry cloth towel,
I wrote it down. Never mind. I did. I wrote it down.
buff this up and see how you're getting some of the impurities out, some of the patina probably, but it's nice and shiny.
Paper over there too that you need? Yes.
The only thing that I'll probably have to do is get a Q-tip and go underneath
There we go.
those areas. But isn't that nice? Yeah. And then I'll just turn it over. And we used to make some of our Suncatchers here, but we used to order some as well as make them. But we're not going to anymore. We're going to make absolutely everything. So yeah. So this is for the window and for sale. Because they are kind of nice to put in the windows. When I lived out in the country, I put Suncatchers in all the windows so the birds wouldn't hit the windows. Yeah. Tim didn't want much in the windows because, the deer. You had to look outside and see the deer.
Great idea. I've got chickadees bouncing off my windows all the time.
Sure. You betcha.
Maybe as you're carrying it, if you'd like for support.
Anybody have any questions before we're done?
Can I hold that up to the light just from here?
I will after about 5 minutes, okay? So I'm going to shut off my recording if I know how. Okay, I'm going to move me. Okay. Oops. Oh, there I am.
There's somebody watching me on.
So there's my face. I can't.